That was the moment that 31-year-old political activist Charlie Kirk was bundled into a car having just been shot at an event at Utah Valley University.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
And that was the moment that 31-year-old political activist Charlie Kirk was shot at Utah Valley University. So why was Charlie Kirk so hated that he deserved a bullet? What did he do that was so wrong to anger people into taking a long-range rifle and taking him out and making his wife a widow and his 2 children fatherless? What did he actually do to deserve that? What did his family do to deserve that? Well, this is what he did.
So the children should be deported as soon as they're born here?
Yes, with their parents, absolutely. I don't care if you want to go wear a dress by yourself. Go ahead, knock yourself out. But if you're going to force me to use pronouns that aren't true, teach my kids things that are materially or biologically false, then we have a serious problem. And
under no circumstance ever should a man ever let a woman pay for a date, or you should split.
So if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got and she was going to give birth and she would and she was going to give birth and she was going to live, would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered. I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine.
And now I'm not.
What's your hub say?
ICE.
What does that stand for?
Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement.
So I'm 100% pro-life. Would you agree that if it's not your DNA, it's not your choice?
Yes.
Okay, so
I get that.
so you're pro-life.
So you're comparing abortion to the Holocaust?
Absolutely, I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse.
There's some pretty extreme views in there, I'm not going to lie. Very extreme views in some cases. Some opinions there that I agree with and some that I vehemently disagree with. However, was it enough reason to have him dead? Was it bad enough to cause his family to be without a husband and father? So if we go back to what he did, in inverted commas, and look at the original videos, they tell a hugely different story over those clips.
So the children should be deported as soon as they're born here?
Yes, with their parents, absolutely.
So he's talking here about immigration and whether or not children should be allowed to be born in this country and automatically given citizenship, which would then entitle, I guess, the parents to have citizenship and stay in the country.
You don't think that we should give them, we shouldn't encourage them to become productive members of American society?
No.
Do you believe in the American dream?
Yes, of course, for American citizens, not for every person around the planet.
I agree. Regardless of national origin, the children of immigrants will become U.S. citizens.
Not just the children of immigrants. It's not just that. The children of visitors become U.S. citizens. A pregnant woman can leave China who's 8 months pregnant, get a 90-day visitor visa, and then her baby becomes a U.S. citizen.
But if you were born on this soil, you have an inherent birthright to the benefits of American citizenship. And when you
that's a huge mistake.
And that's a huge mistake. So you disagree with 200 years of precedent.
Yes.
Have you read what was discussed during the passage of the 14th
Founding Fathers, first
Amendment?
and foremost, never wanted all of a sudden a pregnant woman to be able to get on, they didn't have airplanes back then, go across the ocean, and all of a sudden they become a U.S. citizen.
Those who drafted the 14th Amendment did.
Yeah, the 14th Amendment was in what year?
1866.
Yeah, exactly. Way past the founding era.
So you don't agree with
the 14th Amendment was largely applicable to free slaves.
I understand that was a
Now, whatever your views on immigration, he did back his views up with facts and reasons.
I don't care if you want to go wear a dress by yourself. Go ahead, knock yourself out. But if you're going to force me to use pronouns that aren't true, teach my kids things that are materially or biologically false, then we have a serious problem. And so I guess it's the most important question, and you know it's coming. What is a woman?
I didn't see that coming. So I guess obviously we're going to disagree, definitionally. A woman is somebody who identifies and performs with what society agrees with as a woman. And there's it's not a safe world for trans people.
It's not it's not a safe world for those of us that criticize trans people. That's where I mean,
and I disagree with that too. I think everyone should be safe. I don't think that anybody should have any violence shown against them. Like,
Yeah,
I categorically disagree with any violence shown against people. Like, all I'm saying is that, like, these people just want to exist.
Okay, and we will exist in reality. We are fine with live and let live. They want to say live and let us rule. You must use our pronouns. You must allow us into your locker room. You must allow us into your sporting competition. If not, you're a bigot and we're going to penalize you.
And that is a view that is held by a lot of people.
Under no circumstance ever should a man ever let a woman pay for a date, or you should split ever. No circumstance.
Even on the third, fourth, fifth.
What if it's the first date and you're just not into it?
anything?
Okay, well, let me.
Period.
Well, let me. Okay, so
what kind of world are we living in?
Well, hold on a second. I agree with you. If I'm dating a girl, I would pay for everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. However, I could see for other people that might be in a different financial position, you know, you pay for 10 dates and then she's like, you know what, I want to treat you.
Well,
I think that's so sweet,
that's totally different. What we're talking about is like, oh, we're going to alternate. Like, well, once you're serious and she wants to take you out to something for a nice dinner, and you might, by the way, if you have the intent to marry, you're already like kind of blending finances. Like, I get that psychologically, but like if you're like, oh, we'll take turns. Like, oh, well, you know, you pay this time, I pay this time.
What's your advice to a girl who the guy she's currently seeing, he says that?
Oh, do not marry that man.
But here's the thing. I feel like they should always
break off.
offer.
Great.
But they should offer. They should pull out the credit card.
The woman? Of course not.
Just to offer.
No.
It's a nice gesture.
No, by the way, no. This is feminism. Feminism is that you have to be this like self-independent. This is not a nice gesture. It's you trying to be like egalitarian. No. You as women should want to be provided for. In fact, you should have an expectation that you as a woman are so important and so critical and so necessary and beautiful that it shouldn't even be a question.
See, whatever your opinion on Charlie Kirk is, whatever you think that he said and done or whatever, I feel that last statement is so pure and so perfect that he should be given a pass on certain other things, right? What he's saying there is that a woman should want to be treated like a queen, want to be treated like the perfect creature that she is by her man. You know, I know some people these days are kind of against that, you know, feminism and everything, right? They want all independence and things, and they want to be this strong, independent woman. And I get that in certain situations, but in other situations, it's nice to be treated well. It's nice to be adored and idolized by your partner, right? So I think that his intentions behind that are really, really pure.
So if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got and she was going to give birth and she would and she was going to give birth and she was going to live, would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in, one is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and it's
all
human beings.
But that doesn't matter. It's about your daughter who has to give birth to it and is going to be tortured by that for the rest of her life. That's going to take away every freedom she's ever going to have. That's going to ruin her life. She's going to grow up and she's going to be attached to another thing.
The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant. What human rights you get.
But
hold on one second. If a person conceived in walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's not about that person.
The worst thing to do to the daughter is to then say, hey, we're going to go murder the being inside of you.
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know?
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then the being because we're gonna pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
I think this is one viewpoint that a lot of people are hung up on, and I get it, right? He's basically saying if his daughter was essayed, then he would want his daughter to go through the birth. And I think it's a very controversial topic, not one that I agree with, by the way. So, as I said, I don't agree with everything that he does or says, but I don't disagree with everything that he does or says either.
I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine.
You don't believe that Palestine have the right to exist?
No, everyone has a right to exist. Show me where it is. It's a non-existent place.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we're gonna.
That's why we're on
that.
different planets, right? What is the national identity of Palestine? Educate me.
Palestinians.
What is that?
Like, what do you mean? What is that?
Yeah, what ethnicity are they?
Arabs?
Okay, so all Arabs are Palestinians?
No, but they are Arabs. What you trying to say? What is your point?
I'm trying to say, because at what point does somebody become a Palestinian?
When he was born in Palestine, or if his parents are Palestinians?
Again, this is why we're talking past each other.
What you trying to say?
I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine.
You don't believe that Palestine have the right to exist?
No, everyone has a right to exist. Show me where it is. It's a non-existent place.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna.
That's why we're on
that.
different planets, right?
And this one is a perfect example of how people are hung up on the clip. They see him supposedly hating on Palestinians when I don't think that's what he's doing. He's providing a piece of information, a statistic, a fact, and he's getting people to debate it. There's a little bit of rage bait going on there, I'm not going to lie. He knows that people are going to be angry about it, but he doesn't care. He's proving a point. But he's not saying that he wants Israel or he wants Palestinians to die or anything like that. He's not saying any of those words. He's not doing that. And yet people are twisting it and getting it confused because they've only seen one clip of it.
And now I'm not. What does your hat say?
ICE.
What does that stand for?
Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. Hey, don't touch it.
What are you doing?
Gotta let her have her emotions, man. Just listen.
Have a nice day.
Listen, I'm not saying that she was right.
Let's have a conversation.
She was wrong for that. But you gotta show yourself.
Sorry,
If you really love her, you let her
No,
go.
100%, guys. I'm not gonna press.
You did good.
Thank you. See? I'm not gonna.
Because I would have been pissed. I might have wanted to elbow her.
No, that's not.
Give women back.
Hey, put it on mine. We gotta go shortly. 'Cause
I got a question.
Sure. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
I don't think I told you. My name's Mercury.
Nice to meet you. Well, nice to re-meet you, I should say.
What do you hope to get out of this? Why are you here?
Okay, I've been asked that question a lot. First of all, that question should not even have to be asked, but when people stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When church starts happening, they fall apart. When civilizations stop talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. Whether it be the great genocide, the horrible genocides of the last 100 years, people stop talking with each other because they lose their humanity. I wish we could be here without having my hat thrown off and stuff, but what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.
And that point there is pretty much what he stands for. If you take away and strip away all the crap and all the noise surrounding Charlie Kirk, what he's saying there is that he's doing all of this because he wants people to have a conversation. He wants people to be able to have a conversation about things they disagree with. He wants people to not resort to violence. And ironically, somebody resorted to violence against him, which is so sad because he's against it, right? You can clearly see he's against violence. He wants people to have a conversation and just discuss their disagreements. But sadly, his message didn't get through to everybody, did it?
As a woman, being 35, knowing I never ever want children for myself, I have severe mental health issues and I suffer from depression, attempted suicides. I know for a fact that I was not meant to have children. I feel like if I were to have children, that would be child abuse because I would not want to give these mental illnesses and suffering to another child. I do understand where you stand with abortion. I do agree that agree and disagree to an extent. I do think it should be a choice, but up to a certain time. I think there should be restrictions on it. Do you think that we should just ban it altogether or still give them a certain option, but within a reasonable amount of time. Because at the end of the day, it's my vagina, it's my choice. I'm going to do what I want to do.
So I'm 100% pro-life. Would you agree that if it's not your DNA, it's not your choice?
Yes.
Okay, so...
I get that.
So you're pro-life. I'm giving you a hard time.
No, it's fine. I love it.
Because if you have a baby in you, it's that baby's vagina, not your vagina. Going back to what you said, though, I think you're somewhat selling yourself short. Because look how long you've grown in a year. You went from homeless to here.
I know.
Imagine how much you could grow to one day be a mother. Now, you might say, you don't know me, blah, blah, blah.
No, that's fine.
But don't live under the bigotry of low expectations.
I'm not going to. I just know that I can't get out of bed most days and take care of myself, so I don't think it would be fair.
But God does amazing things, and God can work in everyone's life. Transformation is real. You are a combination of the story you tell yourself. So if the story you tell yourself is that, hey, I can't ever be a mom, then that's who you're going to be.
I'm a cat mom.
It's okay. That's fair. Hey, you're living a good life.
And that's the side of Charlie Kirk that a lot of people either didn't see or chose to ignore, because in that clip there, you could see that he turned it around and had some very nice words for the lady. He wasn't against her. He didn't hate her because she had a different opinion. He told her his opinion and his view, and then just spoke to her normally and said, look, you're going to be great. You can turn this around. You can be, you can turn your life around. Just because you are living your life like this now doesn't mean to say in the future you won't, So people choose not to listen to the good when they are faced with what they think is evil.
During an abortion, they actually inject the spinal fluid with cyanide poisoning as the baby squirms and tries to find its mother, and it is gasping for air of life. Have you ever watched an abortion? It is
Have
one
you?
of the... Yeah, actually I have. And I encourage every human being to watch one to know what you are fighting against. Because when you see abortion, you will have your life will be changed. That we allow the massacre of 1.5 million babies a year under the guise of woman reproductive health. It is never right to justify the mass elimination or termination of people under the guise of saying they're unwanted. That's how we get Auschwitz. That's how we get the greatest horrors of the 20th century. Those people are unwanted.
So you're comparing abortion to the Holocaust?
Absolutely, I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse.
It's really not. I don't
It's
think it is.
45 million babies. It's nearly 8 times worse than the Holocaust. What's the moral difference between a small baby in the womb and a grown Jew who was killed at Auschwitz?
And this one is the one that gets a lot of people. It gets them uptight, it gets them angered, right? And, I can see a point of view. Obviously, I can see, the Holocaust was a really nasty, horrible, disgusting, disgraceful thing. One of the worst things that's ever happened in society, in humanity, right? It absolutely is. However, look at what he's actually saying. Right, he's saying it's worse than the Holocaust in terms of numbers and in terms of deaths. He's equating the death of the embryo as a person or a death. So he's right in a way. If you agree that an embryo equates to a human life, and then there's millions upon millions upon millions of embryos that have died, then, from that point of view, right, I'm not saying that it's worse than the Holocaust myself, right? But if you strip back everything else and listen to the words he's saying, he's not saying that the Holocaust wasn't a bad thing. He's not saying that, and people are assuming that that's what he means. They're just listening to Holocaust worse than, and they're thinking that he's saying that the Holocaust wasn't bad. He's not saying that at all. So Charlie Kirk lived a very eventful and controversial life. Did he deserve to die because of it? No. Nobody deserves to die for their political opinions. Nobody deserves to die because of politics. It's a ridiculous reason to kill somebody. There's no reason to kill somebody. But just to kill them because they had a different opinion than you, right? As I said earlier, I don't agree with everything that he says at all. He's also very big on gun laws. You know, he thinks that guns should be a thing. I am very, very against that. But if you just look at everything that he stands for and then strip away all the noise around it, at the end of the day, all you get there is there's a little bit of rage bait. There's a little bit of his, you know, extreme opinions. He seems to be very anti-woke, and that gets people uptight quite a lot. You know, if you're not a feminist, then you must be a bad person because you don't want women to succeed, but that's not actually what that means. He's also a Christian. Now, this is one thing that you have to remember. A lot of his opinions, especially the ones surrounding abortion, are born out of his religion. So you can understand it. I don't agree with the abortion thing. I think it should be pro-choice, right? But I can see from his point of view why he thinks that way. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I know it's a divisive topic. I hope I don't get cancelled for my opinions on this. But there's a lot of comments negatively surrounding him. What do you think about it? Have you heard about it? Do you know who he is? Did you know who he was before this? And what's your opinions on whether or not he deserved to die? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you would like to hear more of these type of topics and others. Thank you all so much.